And go live. Okay, go downstairs and get on my live and comment so I know that at least one person can get on here on my YouTube or something. What? Yeah, I'm on YouTube and I'm on Facebook. I don't know where my phone is. Oh, it's right here. Yep. All right. Let's see. Well, it should be on my Hostess Club page. And I don't think you're part of that. Oh, I see it. All right, just giving everybody a second to get here. Before we get started. Go ahead and say hi. All right, I think we're getting on there. Trying to tag a few people. It is a wonderful Sunday afternoon. Hope everybody is enjoying the beautiful weather. I know lots of you were able to pick up your kits. Lindy, oh, I see somebody here. Cindy is watching. Hey, Cindy, glad you could find us. Hopefully you can watch on YouTube if you are there. I bet the weather is beautiful there in Florida, Cindy. Big thank you to everybody who has already placed their orders for this month. I just have a couple people I'm waiting on. Hopefully they'll get their orders in and I can submit the order so that Melissa can get all of her free stuff. So we're going to be making 2 cards today. And the first one looks like this. Open it up, and it says, "You are wonderful in every way. Happy birthday." And that set that we are using is called Happiness Abounds. I have done all the flowers, and we will be using our water brush and some ink pads to do some coloring. And then we'll use a couple sentiments for this on this one. And then the second card is this adorable little kitty cat with a basket of apples. And you slide the belly band off, and then when you open it, it's "You fill my day with happiness," and it's kind of a pop-out card. So that's how that one works. And then I also gave everybody 3 of each so that you would have the opportunity to decorate your envelope if you need it. So your papers might be a little bit different than mine. So just by a little bit of color difference, but in all, the project will still be the same. So we're going to get started with this first card. Now remember, the Hostess code has been posted onto the Facebook group, and this month's hostess is Melissa Smirker. So we're going to go ahead and I'm going to grab my scoreboard. And you have an entire sheet. Now your paper might be blue, called Pool Party, or Daffodil Delight. I had both colors because some of the patterned papers that I had chosen, there was just too much yellow. So I offset those yellow pieces with Pool Party. So we're going to start off with the 8.5 by 11 sheet of cardstock here. And we are going to do some scoring, and we're going to score it first on the portrait side across the top. We're going to score it at 4 1/4 all the way down. Then we're going to rotate it, and we're going to score at 5 1/2. So basically we are dividing the piece of cardstock up into 4 sections. All right, so that is pretty much all of the scoring right there. Now I'm going to go ahead and grab my cutter, and I'm going to cut this upper left-hand section out. So I am going to cut at 4 1/4 down to the 5 1/2 inch mark. And then I'm going to rotate, and I'm going to cut up to the 4 1/4 inch mark so that that section is now gone. Okay? So So this piece is just a scrap. We aren't going to need it for anything, so you can set that into your scrap pile. All right, next up, I'm going to take, and from this score mark at the 5.5 inch, I'm going to cut from here to here. I'm going to line that up on my track, just like that, and there we go. So this piece is going to fold down just like that, okay? Now this piece, when I fold it over, I want this upper corner to be gone. So I'm going to line this one up in the track. I got that just a little off. There we go. And then this corner piece is also scrap. All right, so here is what my card base looks like now. So I can go ahead and fold that over and burnish with my bone folder. Okay. So this is what our card essentially looks like. Okay. Now I'm going to take my pattern paper, which I gave everybody a bigger piece of pattern paper than they needed. So this is 4 by 6, and I would like it to measure 5 1/4. And I really like the purple, so I am going to cut off the blue at the bottom. Okay. Actually, because these flowers are missing, I'm going to just cut those off instead. 5 1/4. All right, now I'm going to take, and I'm going to look at my card, and I need the bottom piece, this, to be cut this way. So when I put it in my cutting, my paper trimmer, I know which direction. So I'm lining up my corner and my corner in the cut track, and I'm going to cut that, okay? And that'll fit right there. This other piece, I'm going to flip over, and it's going to fit right there, okay? So that's what it looks like so far. I'm going to go ahead and glue those pieces down. There we are. And this should be big enough where it has a little border all the way around the edge there. And then this piece I'm going to glue down right there. All right. Now in your kit you also have this piece, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to glue that right into the center of my card. There we go, just like that. Scored at 4 1/4 and then 5 1/2, Sean. All right, so this is how far, or what it looks like now. I'm going to go ahead, and I have the scallop circle and the white circle that look just like this. I'm going to go ahead and glue the white circle that says, wishing you all the happiness that you can imagine. Okay. And then I'm going to take my white twine and I'm going to wrap, oh, I got a little knot here. I am going to cut that knot off. There we go. Don't need that. I'm going to kind of spread my fingers apart like so, and I'm going to just wrap my twine around 3, 4, 5 times, okay, whatever you would like, so that I have like a pretty big knot. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to set that right there, and I'm going to grab a glue dot, if I can find my glue dots. Now that seems to be the question right now, is where are the glue dots? All right, I have a big fat one right here, so I'm just going to put this glue dot right there, and then I'm going to twist this so it looks like a figure 8, and I'm going to lay it in the glue dot, okay, just like that, because I don't want any more bulk. I'll put a drop of glue there and set that down to dry. Now I will go back after this glue dries and I will spread out the twine a little bit, but I'm going to just let that sit there and dry real quick. And I'm going to go ahead and grab my flowers. Now if you got your kit early, I had forgotten to put the flowers in your kit, so I mailed those to you. Okay, so if you are local, you should already have them. If you are out of state, it might take another day or two for yours to arrive. I apologize for that. I got those in the mail as soon as I possibly could. So you have 3 of these flowers that have a bunch of 3, and then you have 3 of the one that has 4 or 5 flowers, and then you have 3 of the bigger flower. And I used just water with my water brush. Of course, you know, getting ready for the video today, I could not find my actual water brush, so we're just going to use a paintbrush with a little cup of water. I like to keep a wet paper towel, or in this case today is a baby wipe, right here, so that I can wipe off as we're going. And we're going to be water painting with our ink pads. So for the flower, now keep in mind I did a yellow flower on my original. Okay, so I'm going to do a yellow flower here, but you can really decide what color you want your flowers. So I'm going to squeeze my pad so that the ink gets on the lid, right like that. And this one is Mango Melody. And then this one is Daffodil Delight, so I'm going to squeeze that, and then I'm going to open that pad up. There we are. And I'm going to color my big flowers with these 2 ink pads and water. So I have my water here. Oh, I covered that. So get too much water. I'm going to use the Mango Melody as my darker yellow, and I'm just going to put it down. Boy, this is quite the brush here. Okay, just gonna, and the nice thing about coloring with water and ink pad is, you know, It doesn't have to be like super spot on, right? You get a little room for flexibility. Maybe I want a little darkness underneath this petal and right there. Okay. And now I'm going to take and finish the flower with Daffodil Delight. Now these flowers, I stamped them with black VersaFine ink, and then I sprinkled clear embossing powder over them. So that's why they have that raised texture. There we are. And if you choose, you like, this is just a technique I wanted to show this time. You could certainly color your flowers with watercolor pencils or with Copic markers. This is obviously just a technique so you can get more use out of your supplies. You know, we all have these ink pads, but we don't always have like the right marker. So this is one way that you can get the right color. All right, so that's yellow, the 3 yellow flowers, and then I'm going to take, and I think I'm going to use Melon Mambo. I can't remember what color I used on the original, but maybe it was this color. And I'm going to color all of my flowers pink. Maybe. Oops. Let's try that again. All right. There we go. Just like that. There we go. And again, I gave you 3 sets. One set is for your envelope, if you wanted to decorate your envelope. And then 2 sets for your card. One for the outside of the card and one for the inside of the card. There we are. And this stamp set does have dies, so you can get that in a bundle. This stamp set is also located in the annual catalog. So you still have 11 months to purchase it if you haven't done so already. And I just love, 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 love that Happiness Abounds DSP. It's so pretty. All right, so all my flowers are painted pink. Now I'm going to go back in with the yellow, and I'm just going to touch the center of all of my flowers with a little yellow. Even though I think I painted over some of them, it's okay. There we go. And then I'm going to get my green, which I think I used Granny Apple Green. And we're going to color our stems and leaves. Just a little. Don't forget the stem on the big flower. There is a little bit of a stem there. I just love the look of watercolor. Just organic, and it's okay if you get out of the lines. It's the look of the medium. I know some people cannot handle the look. All right, so that is all of the watercoloring we're going to do on that card. I'm going to go ahead and set my water over here so I don't spill it. All right, that should be good and dry. Get my baby wipe over here so it doesn't get on any of my projects. So I'm going to go ahead and spread these out a little bit so they aren't so neat and tidy. Okay, and then I'm going to trim this hanging one off. There we go. All right. Grab dimensionals here. I'm going to put a dimensional on that flower, and I'm going to set that there. And then let me grab my mini dimensionals. So I have my regular and my mini. And I'm going to put a mini dimensional on the back of these flowers. Just like that. And we're going to stick that just under there. And then the bunch with 5 flowers. I'm going to put 2 mini dimensionals on. And I'm going to set that one right up there. Okay, so that's what it looks like so far. Now I'm going to open it up, and I'm going to glue the ones in here flat. So I'm going to put my flowers down like that. And there we are. So I can close up my card, and the first one is done. Now, on my original, I have rhinestones, and I did not include rhinestones because, well, you'd need ones that match. So I'm going to pick out some purple ones from this big ol' container full. I don't know why they always have to go upside down. This part could take a while. I would like to find a little purple one. Okay. 1, 2, 3. There we go. 1, that flip over right. 2, 3. There we go. So you can add whatever color of bling you would like to yours. On my original one I had pink, and this one has more of a purple, so we went with purple. Alright, so that is that card, and then I still have these 3 pieces left that I can use to decorate the envelope later. Okay? Alright. So that was the first card. Let's go ahead and look at the pieces for our second card. And they came in an envelope like this. And for this set, we are using the Cheerful Basket. And, you know, we have the choice of apples, hearts, or even craft supplies in our little basket. Got some markers here. So let's go ahead and see what is in our little kit for today, for this card. I got a white scrap, green, that, envelope, and make sure the envelope is empty. Alright, so we are going to start off. Let's go ahead and get our coloring done first. Now again, I gave you 3, but you don't obviously have to use all 3. I'm going to start with my apples, and for my apples I used dark and light sweet sorbet and dark and light soft succulent. So I'm going to start with my leaves. There we are. Today is my daughter and her husband's first wedding anniversary. So congratulations, Sydney and Jake, on your 1 year. Cheers to many more wonderful wedded years of bliss. Right? Isn't that how it goes? My husband and I will be married 24 years on July 18th. Okay, so there's that one. And now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to color with the sweet sorbet with the dark. So here I'm going in with the dark wherever I feel like there would be a little shadow. You know, where it would be darker. And quite honestly, coloring 2 or coloring 3, I don't know. Seems like it doesn't really take that much longer to color one more when you're coloring. Tonight we're going to go have dinner with Sydney and Jake at Mackenzie River Pizza. That's where they wanted to go, and Chris thought we could take them out for dinner for their anniversary. So that was always a question, like I was asking, do you give gifts for anniversaries unless you are in the anniversary? Like I know that I would buy my husband a gift for our anniversary, but do you buy other people gifts for their anniversaries? What is the typical tradition? I guess I just don't really know. Anybody out there watching want to weigh in on whether or not you buy gifts for anniversaries for other people? Ah, only the special years. So the first one. Well, the first anniversary is paper. So, I haven't made them a card yet. But, you know, it's not like I don't have plenty in my stash. Maybe we'll give them money. Because that is, first anniversary is paper. Money is made of paper. That sounds like a win to me. Alright, so there my apples are colored. I am going to go back and take a white gel pen after that ink dries and add some highlight marks. Alright, so then I'm going to color my kitty cats, and I used, let's see, we have light petal pink, we have dark and light gray granite, and I have light black for my kitty cats. So I'm just going to take the black and add the stripes. Now, this is your kitty cat. You can obviously make it whatever color you want. There's definitely not a wrong way to color a cat, as you know, cats come in all the shades. And maybe your favorite cat is a calico cat or an orange striped tabby cat. So feel free to color your cat however you would like. I wish that this set had a puppy, but you know, because I'm more of a dog girl. Alright, now I'm going to take the dark gray granite and I'm just going to kind of go where the shadows would be. And I'm also, keep in mind, I am going to leave a little white on him because I just think a little white stripe is just so cute, or a little white spot or a white foot, you know. There we go. Oh, he's just too cute. And you know, he's pretty easy to color. I'm not gonna lie. Okay. And I'm going to add the light petal pink inside his ears. And I know this is some quick and dirty coloring. So this one, I'm going to give him a white paw, a white tip on his tail, maybe a little white on his belly, on his nose. And one way I like to blend that out is with the colorless blender. So I'm just going to go around and around and kind of blend out so there's not such a harsh edge when leaving the white on him. Okay. You know, they can all be a little different. There we go. And a little white on his face and on his belly. on his paws. There we go. I think I need a new gray granite marker. This one's getting a little light. There we go. A little white on his paws, tip of his tail, around his eye, and his ear is a little white. There we go. All right, so next we have, I'm going to take that light black and I am just going to color in the handle on my baskets, and then that part will be done. All right. So the colors that I am using for the basket is SU 400, SU 200, SU 600. Your package will be coming in the mail this week, Tanya. Thanks for being so patient. Love you. All right, so I'm going to take the darkest and I'm going to start with coloring or drawing the lines between the slats of wood. Like so. And then I'm going to flick in from the edges on the horizontal slats just a little bit, because we want to draw our eye in to make the basket look a little rounded. So our highlight will end up in the middle, or our lighter section. Oh, he loves me more, huh, Tanya? I highly doubt that. Tanya is in Lubbock, Texas right now. She can't even do the class because she's having surgery tomorrow. So let's wish her luck with that. We'll be thinking about her and praying for her to have a nice and speedy recovery. All right, and then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to color on both sides of my slats. This is definitely some quick and dirty coloring. And then I'm going to take my lightest shade, which is the SU 600. And I'm just going to color over that. And I'm going to do the same thing on the other two baskets. There we are. So that is our first basket, and then that's how you get that kind of rounded look. And if it doesn't blend well, just take your marker, your lightest marker, and just drag over it, and it should blend it out. All right, I'm going to go ahead and do these first two. With all the dark. Get all these colored. Get some dark on the edges here. Here we are. Now I'm going to take my SU 600. Oh, wrong one. I think I colored all that with the wrong marker. I don't think that was the right darkest marker. Let's try that again. I have the wrong brown. Oh well. Only takes a second to touch it up. Silence. I'm focused on all this coloring. There we are. Finish up this bucket and we'll be ready to go. So on your kits, I did not cut them out. You will have to fussy cut them. But there are dies with this set and I will be using the die cuts. Sorry about that. I did get out of the lines just a little. And I'll just take my white gel pen and cover that up. All right, now I'm going to add some highlights to my apples. All right, there we are. There we go. All right, and all the coloring is done. So this is my mini stamp and emboss machine. It is not my favorite machine, and those of you who know me know that and have tried it. You know, this machine is a struggle. It definitely has a learning curve. All right, so let's go ahead and get some die cutting out done. All right. There's one. Feel like you have to put your chest into it when you're die cutting, like you need a third hand. 2. Go ahead and line that up. There we go. Oh, that came a little off, so we better fix that before I die cut it. There we are. Alright, so there are the apples, are all die cut. Now we're gonna try to do the bucket, the basket, and the cat at the same time, but I don't know. We'll try. Okay. Basket. Nope, we can't do the cat. Oh, I guess I could do the cat that's farther up here. There we are. Give it a little chest press. Oh, that wasn't enough. See if it's not lined up just perfectly. Now it doesn't want to go through at all. See what I mean? It's a finicky little die cut machine. Oh. I can't get it through. Anybody has any tips or suggestions on how to make this die cut machine work better? Totally open to it. Of course, you know, I've been using this die cut machine all day today, and now it doesn't want to work, so. All right. Oh. That one was a little close to the edge of the cutting plate, so it did not want to cut correctly. Let's go ahead and cut the cats off here. There we go. There we are. Not sure. I know we came out with a new magnetic cutting plate, but I'm not sure if it came out for this mini or not. Alright, so there my 3 cats are cut out. And now let's do my baskets. Which, the baskets, they're pretty easy to just fussy cut, but You know, we're die cutting all the things. Let's just die cut all the things. Oh, it slid. Maybe I need a different piece of tape. One that's a little stickier. There we are. Try that again. There we are. Ugh. Okay, this die does not want to stay lined up. Could be that this plate is just all sorts of warped and I can't get it to flatten out. Okay, let's try that. Here we are. Like that and like that. Last one. Of course, now it won't go through the die cut machine. All right. Yes, I know there are much better mini die cut machines on the market than this one. So I encourage you to find one of those if you are currently in the market for a mini. Because, well, you saw that one's just a pain in the butt. All right. Now let's get to making our card. So the first thing we're going to do is we are going to score our card base. So I'm going to grab my scoreboard. And I'm going to do a quick measurement here because my brain is not working. Yes, that's what I thought it was. Double check. So we're going to score on the landscape side, so the long edge across the top at 2 1/8. And then I'm going to rotate it and I'm going to score it again at 2 1/8. Okay. And that gives me my gate fold card. Next, I'm going to grab my trimmer and I'm going to cut this at my DSP at 5 3/8. So 5 3/8. So I have a strip like this. Then I'm going to rotate it, and I'm going to cut it at 2 inches and at 2 inches. All right. I'm feeling like I forgot a piece in my kits. So I'm going to take my glue, and I'm going to glue that right there. And this other 2 by 5 3/8 inch piece, I'm going to glue on the other side. And my apologies, looks like I did forget to put a piece that is 4 by 5 1/4 on the inside. So I'm going to grab a piece of white cardstock here, 5 1/4 by 4. Again, I'm sorry for forgetting that piece. And I'm going to glue this down right in the center of that. All right. Now with this strip, I'll lay it on my grid mat, and I'm going to make my belly band. Okay. So it's not scored. I'm just wrapping it around, and it's not going to meet, and that's okay, because I'm going to take this piece here and I'm going to glue it across the center. I am going to stick this scrap in here so that if I get glue, it doesn't stick to my card. There we go. There we go. And now I'm just going to trim off the excess, just like that. So on the front of my card, where is my sample? Oh, right here. Looks just like this. So I have my apples. I'm going to put a little glue along the bottom of my apples. And I'm going to glue those right on the back of my bucket, basket, whatever it's called. And I'm going to stick some dimensionals along the belly band. Okay, it's like that. I need one more, I think, over here. Just like that. And then I'm going to put a little bit of glue on the left-hand side of my kitty cat. And he's going to sit just like that. Okay. So that's the belly band. And it just slides right off. Okay. Now, let's do the pop-up mechanisms. So you have this piece of white scrap. And I am going to score it at 1, 2, and 4 1/4. 1 inches, 2 inches, and 4 1/4 inches. Now I'm going to cut, okay? So if your paper, these are just for the pop-ups, so your strip needs to be 5 1/4 inches long, okay? So this part here is just scrap. So I have it scored at 1, 2, and 4 1/4. Now because my paper is so wide, I'm going to cut it at about 3/4 of an inch, okay? It just has to be enough to fold on the bottom. So 1 inch, 3/4 of an inch, that will be good to go. All right, so if you want to watch first before assembling yours, okay? So this is what they look like when I fold on the score marks. So this strip is 3/4 of an inch by 5 1/4, and I have scored at 1 inch, 2 inch, and 4 1/4. So when we put it in, it looks like this from the top. Can you see that? Hopefully you can see how we're going to do that. All right. So I'm going to take the side that has just the 1 score mark right here, and I'm going to lay it flat, and I'm just going to put a little bit of glue up to that score mark, and I'm going to line it up with the crease, and then I'm going to fold it over. Okay, hold that for just a second. There we are. Now I'm going to put glue on this other end, and I'm just going to fold it over behind and glue it down like that, so that way when I open it up it creates a little table. Okay, now I'm going to do that again with the bottom, and you want it about 1 inch from the bottom of your card, I would say is good. So put glue on it, make sure it's flush, close your panel, open it up. Now I'm going to put glue on this side. And I'm going to glue it just like that. Okay, so now we have our 2, if you're looking at it flat, it looks like 2 little tables there. All right, so on the first one, we're going to put a basket on the bottom one here. And I'm going to glue my apples inside the basket again. Here we are. And I'm going to glue this. Put some glue on that. Lay that flat just like that. And then I'm going to take this kitty cat, and I'm just going to put glue along the right edge of it. And I'm going to glue it to the basket. Okay? And there, he's all set. All right, next I should have these 2 pieces. Your piece is stamped already, but mine is not, so I need to stamp my sentiment in Sweet Sorbet. And it says, "You fill my day with happiness." There we are. Now I'm going to go ahead and just trim that out, and then I'll mat it and stick that in the card, and we should be all done. And I'm not leaving a lot of room around my sentiment because I want it nice and tight. There we go. And I'm not going to have very much of a border on it either. In fact, I'm just going to take my big scissors and just trim it. There we go. And that will fit right there. Perfect little fit. You fill my day with happiness. There we are. And then of course you have the extra pieces that you can decorate your envelope with. Slide your belly band back on, and if you wanted to add some rhinestones, I have some red ones here in my little bucket of jewels, I guess. There we are. And that is our second card for our Hostess Club. So extra pieces I'll set there because I will probably go ahead and decorate my envelope with those. Here we are. All right. Make sure my envelope is facing the right way. And my apples. One thing when you're gluing things on to the front of an envelope, you want to make sure that you glue everything down secure so that if it is going through the mail, nothing catches and it doesn't destroy your artwork. All right, so here is my cute apple basket, and I'm going to just trim off that, and there we go. Matching envelope. I could go ahead and quickly do the envelope for the other card as well. So I'm going to put glue on the back of my flowers. There we go. And then I'm just going to put this other little bundle of 3 up in the other corner.